G'day guys, it's Jake here. Nothing in this video is financial advice. Please do your own research when it comes to investing. Please be sure to check out my links below, including exchanges I use and social media content that I post. All right, let's go. So the topic for this video is going over Bitcoin and the rest of the market, the alts versus Bitcoin, and some of the charts above. So crypto lesson this one, and also is my birthday tomorrow. So this is the last video of me being 23. So, yep, that is that. Okay. And bigger and better things when I'm 24 years old, and hopefully into next year, when I turn 25, things get really, really bullish, and the markets are euphoric. And around that time, I'll probably be selling, actually, by the time I'm 25, getting out of the market. But in, I'm 24 and out 25. We'll see how that goes, that plays out. But the timing is everything, okay, getting in these markets. And so I just thought I'd tell you that. And birthday's tomorrow, and crypto's really not very exciting. But we'll get some fireworks at the end of the year after the elections and going next year. So I'll start with Bitcoin now on the 3-day time frame. And you can see we're at 60,690, and we're pretty much right around this support line here. And I've drawn this out previously. There, touched it there, bounced off it there, rejected from it there, bounced here, and now we're sort of hovering around again. So this is a pretty prominent level, okay, 60,690. Now I'll bring up a volume anchored profile, and I'll just go from this time last year, and you can see what the volume spikes are and where we're looking out for interest. And you can see a big cluster here, current levels, okay, and where we are currently, we are in this wall. So we had this lower section here, these 4 bars, and then below we do have a little bit more support, okay, and then it just drops off. It's really, the volume just tapers right down, and we do have a little spike here at around the 52k level, 53, and that is where this level is here, and this obviously support line I've drawn at 51, and a wick came down to it. So look, not really strong support. Here's where you want to hold up if you're a bull, and hold above this 61k level, okay, and continue higher. This volume shelf here, if I slide it under, you'll probably see it a bit better. And where we are currently, okay. So right on this shelf. If you break it, we do have a support here, and we can bounce, okay. That's possible. Or if you do break it, I do see it's actually going down here, all right. And it's due to this wick and this cluster here. It hasn't really tested it very much. And it'll catch a lot of people off guard, I reckon. And if worse comes to worse, or if you're a buyer waiting to get in the market, best comes to best, you want to see this 43k level get reached, okay? That's a very, very big spike. So the volume's nice and thick there, and it's a previous, it's been touched in the bear market low, 22, 23, September or so, and again, we can come back down and touch it again to meet by the time we're in 2025. Or end of the year. So going into next year, there's plenty of time to get down this level and reset, which is basically this cluster here, this Bitcoin spot EF, price action, and get back to that level. They'll be absolutely, don't miss it. This is going to be amazing. If you get down to 50k, that's still a good area to get in, okay? So either levels, but that's that, okay, and the volume profile. And if you go and have a look at the risk metric, so show the risk metric, Bitcoin, we're at 36. So for my strategy to kick in, I want 30 and below. So 54,000-ish, okay, which is around here. All right, 4k down here. These lows here, these wicks, 2 of these ones, okay. And that'll be great. Or down here, just to really cement it and find support, and that'll be my strategy. But you need to get there's an oscillator that I use as well, And I'll quickly show you, actually, wrong one. I'll quickly show you the oscillator I used to solidify my position in the market and get myself in. I needed to see these dots. See these dots here? You clearly see them. And the oscillator must go, I might make it bigger, must go down to this blue level. So the blue below 30, right, on this oscillator, which is lines up with this table here. So it's the same as this. So if you look at here, it's 36. So it's the same as that, okay? It just follows it, but plotted in a dot. And you want to see these levels down here, the buying areas, okay? And once it gets to below 30, so you hit at this level here, basically, draw a 30 line. All this is buying zone, which is basically all of this up to here, and you stop buying. So all this area, you're accumulating Bitcoin at nice prices, and now we're way up here. So done really well. And just by following this risk metric, there's no other indicator. It's pretty straightforward. But I want to wait to get in once you get 2 dots, okay? Second dot closes inside it, and that's when I start buying. But there's one other indicator that I look out for, and that's this one, which is the MACD, okay? This indicator here, which we all know and love. I need this to cross, and cross like this, bullish, once the dots are below 30, okay? Get dots below 30, and we get a cross, like we did here. We get a cross, see this? Get a cross here, and the dots were below 30, and that was your buying entry, okay? But my strategy is slightly different. One more caveat, my strategy is I need to wait for the end of the bear year, which is every 4 years is a down period and a low for Bitcoin. And it would have been December, I would have waited for to get in, and that would have been started buying down here. And when this cross MACD, which is here, I get in, and then I start buying from that point on. Okay, so MACD gets me in, and that obviously end of the bear year. But if you didn't have that caveat and that extra bit bonus rule in your strategy, then you buy earlier, they're in here, and then you just keep accumulating all this. So either way, it doesn't matter. It's up to you what you want to do. But that's what I'm doing. And what I'm waiting for is these dots to go blue, and this MACD will probably come preferably a bit lower, and then cross like this, bullish. Down here would be great. If it's higher low, it's higher than this one, even better again. And then that's for Bitcoin. Okay, that's a Bitcoin strategy. That's not altcoin strategy. Altcoin strategy is to wait for QE to happen, which is Fed's balance sheet, all right, to turn bullish. That hasn't happened yet. So they're the missed metrics. I'll just get rid of them, right? And the MACD, I'll just close it up. Then we have the MA ribbons, okay, and we have the, I believe these are the weekly time frame, the 1500s, okay, cool. 1500 week moving averages. The 50s coming up close to where we are, and the 100s down here. They're around the 40 odd K mark, which is the optimal buying area, and this trend line meets up with it. So, yeah, looking like it's starting to, it'll just keep rising as time goes on. If Bitcoin stays high, this will continue to rise, all right? And yeah, 50's there, and we're still strongly above it. Bull market support band. We're actually below the bull market support band. This is the 20-week EMA and SMA. The SMA is the red one, and the EMA is in green. And you can see this is bearish because the red's above the green, and price is below it. Okay, so we are struggling to hold it as support. We could still close up and hold as support. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's Bitcoin, and yeah, bull market support bands, and you know. It sometimes it holds as resistance. See that resistance, and it rejected and went lower. Then you had the 50-week SMA. So 20 weeks and the 50 weeks, even here it held really strong. Support level, and it held strong there. And we rejected from here. Okay, it's EMA, and sometimes it goes above it. So it goes above the price action goes above the SMA. Okay, so it doesn't. It's not perfect, and here too. You know. It's not exactly a magnet, but it does work pretty well. Like, you know, weak stand here, acts as support and goes higher. Okay, that's on automatic mode. Yes, we did go below it here in the summer of 2023, going in 2020 into winter, autumn, should say. going into winter with America. We had a wick here. We do react at it, and reject, and then it shot through it, okay? Now we found a little bit of support, a little bit of deviation below it. Nice support here. So it worked really well here. And yeah, resistance here. Okay, it worked really well there. And went a little bit above it there, but you had the 50-week holding it as resistance as well. So these lines really close inside each other. EMA resistance, SMA, the red one, support. So yeah, you can go back even further to this period, this previous halving period, where we are sort of now in terms of time, about 4 years ago. And yeah, we held as support and continued higher. So that's what you want to see really bullish action. And that's there's a bull market support band and its history. You can go back even further, of course, but I'm just showing you recent examples. And you need to stay above it strongly. If you don't, we go lower. Then we've got the 50-week and the 100-week. Okay, so, and we've got these support levels as well. All right, so those ones there. All right, and go to Ethereum now. Not optimism. Not looking at these coins. They're subjective. Okay, these are what I'm looking at. But do what you want to do for your own research. It's not I'll look at altcoins, it's ETH and Bitcoin, and that's it pretty much. And you got Solana versus Ethereum up there. But anyway, I like to keep it simple because everyone's got their own opinions of what they like best, and I don't like to debate about that. It's all personal preference. So we've got ETH here, and yeah, look, it's above this rising line. It's basically a wedge. This wedge pattern here, the bottom and the top line, and I've been zigzagging in between it from the lows between 2 to its push higher there late that year, 2023, or October, so a year ago. Up, so we smashed through it here. We came back down and broke above it. Came back, lower high, consecutive lower highs, and now we're back, right back down there, wick, and we're sort of here at the moment. All right, and we'll see what happens, down or up. Wait and see, but we're right at this wedge, okay? Wedge pattern, it's quite interesting. So we consolidated, and then broke above it, and then back inside it again. Go back to 2019 now. All right. And the same thing happened. You had the very low bear market, had the big push up, down, up, down, zigzag, and then it broke above, came back down, and then broke up, and then came back inside the wedge, came up, and smashed through the wedge and went lower and lower and lower and lower. Okay, right down here, and then we had a big rally after that, and then we had the pandemic drop. Boom. But that would have been the low if the pandemic didn't happen. That would have been it, and that would have been the ultimate buy opportunity for Ethereum. But we had another opportunity here. It took its time to recover, and result in this big run up. Oops. Sorry, run up like it's really strong. So had this rate cut line here as I've just drawn. I'll show on the logarithmic chart, and every time we I'll show interest rates now. A new price scale had a cut, and that was when the wedge came back to the wedge. See that price broke above, came back when the rate cut happened, and then the cuts, more cuts, and then the price just went down. All right, so cuts arrived. And now we're seeing, the wedge break above, came back down inside it, and they had a rate cut here, right? Happened. And then the price comes back into the wedge. And more cuts come. That means the Fed's reacting to something that they don't like, the weakness of the job market, most likely. And the price will come lower. But if it's not that case, it's some other case. The reason they're cutting could be a banking, repo market could be blowing up or something else. But it's mainly the banks faltering or it's the labour market. Is two real reasons why they cut. Okay. And inflation's going down, but inflation report came out last night, was mixed. It was good for the CPI standard. It came lower, but slightly above expectations at 2.4%, and the Core was higher. Okay, core was 3.3, I believe, so it's higher than the previous month. So not good. Year on year, I should say, not month to month. Year on year, so not good. But yeah, core was good. Normal was good, but the core was bad, and that's why the markets, did have a great day yesterday or today, today's session, but last night for me, and straight after the CPI came out. So that's the wedge, and we come back down in it, and we see some weakness in the economy, or something happens, or it could be just whale games. We want to point it on. If price goes lower, it could be the government selling their Bitcoin, which I've heard about as well, or the FTX creditors getting their money back and they're selling the crypto, and that could cause selling pressure going down. Whatever the narrative is, you'll hear it on Twitter and wherever else. The price usually leads narrative, so you can take it as you will. But I do see price leading that anyway. So it'll be priced in. And yeah, I do see ETH going a bit lower at $1,500 is probably the base case, and the worst case is $1,000 right down here. And the reason I say that is, you look back to here, this period, is we did come back, the pandemic dropped to the lows, right, made back here in 2018, December. And 2016 was similar. We had a wedge pattern, but we broke a bit sooner, came back solid, broke down, and then came back to the lows, okay, in the same year. So yeah, that is something to look out for. Whether we get there or not, we'll see. And yeah, it all depends on the Fed, what they're seeing and how they're reacting in terms of their monetary policy. So it's Ethereum. And then we got ETH versus Bitcoin now. So the two big titans. And we can see that this is the box I'm looking for. And we are in it now. But I do see it going a little bit lower. Probably 3.5 is the lower end of the box. And this big trend line here I've drawn. If I go to the automatic chart, you see it a bit more clearly. And I'll go in the weekly. And yeah, you can see, it came back close to it in 2016 and 2019 it touched. And then we're sort of near it now, 2024, right? This rises over time, but the highs aren't getting bigger. They're getting smaller. This is going down, but this is going up. So very interesting how it's contracting. The ETH versus Bitcoin pair. And you see it going a bit lower. Just hit this box down the bottom, this trend line, okay. And what will turn it around, I've written these on these lines here. You got the red and the green lines. This will what turn the price around, okay. So you got QE, boom, bullish. ETH versus Bitcoin, QT, bearish. So Bitcoin outperforms ETH. Bullish, ETH outperforms Bitcoin, QE. And then the red is what we're experiencing right now. And ETH underperforming against Bitcoin. And that is this, the Fed balance sheet, right? This is what you need to know and follow, study. This goes down, this purple line. So does the Bitcoin pair. If it goes up, you can see its exact bottom was marked when it went from, it went down to going up. That was the exact bottom for ETH Bitcoin, and it went higher, okay? And yeah, that's top there, and it went lower there. And QT in the last bear market, or the previous one before the one we had, and you can see that bled with the balance sheet. So the old Bitcoin pairs, and she's at ETH Bitcoin, and it was flat, slightly going down, but flat, predictable. That was bullish. Yeah, that goes lower. It's bearish, very, very bad. And the rate cuts are just, they come as well at the end of the business cycle. But whether we get consecutive rate cuts or we get a pause next month and a pause in December, that'll be quite good for markets potentially. Depending if markets are screening for rate cuts right now, I don't think. I think it'd be a bit more bullish than bearish. We'll have to wait and see that one, because they cut for the right reasons. They cut to save. It's their asses, really. It's the data they're seeing is weak, and they'll cut. They'll respond to it. If there's no cuts, then the economy's strong. Okay. I got others, Bitcoin. I got this one. I got this line. I just see it's breaking down to 0.08, same as this period here. But it all depends on QE. So see it marked at the bottom. QE did. Right, zoom in more. That was the bottom. So it's same as ETH Bitcoin. Others is outside the top 10 altcoins, and they go lower in QT, higher in QE against Bitcoin. Obviously higher in QE here. A nice run to 17 market. And then we've been bleeding ever since this peak. Okay. And then QT happened and boom. See you later. So this continues to roll off. Fed keep rolling off their treasuries and mortgage-backed securities and other holdings in their balance sheet, and other central banks around the world. This is the Fed's balance sheet, but you got other central banks got their own balance sheets. This will continue to restrain on the valuations of others versus Bitcoin. This could continue lower. It really should. It continues to drop. This turns around and curls up sooner than later. Right here, when it turns up, that will be the bottom. Okay, and it'll go higher. All right, from there, it'll bottom out. So looking for is those factors that happen. And you understand that, you will do really well in the market. So down that level, down the bottom, this is quite similar. This is total 3 though, a bit different to others, but it's not including Ethereum, Bitcoin versus Bitcoin and USDT. No USDT either. And we can see we still get to 0.25 as we have done in the past. We have here in QE started, it's wicked here, it came back down to it there and here. Okay, so nice level. We have the up levels here. Obviously, this deviation above the 0.99 level, and this touch here. Whoops, terrible froze there, and that touch there. Okay, so I do expect it to go down here eventually. I don't know when, but it seems to be happening into 2025. It's taking a bit longer than expected, but we can see a big capitulation, and it could take a couple of months, and boom, hit the bottom down straight away. And then the Fed turn this balance sheet around, okay, and then that'll be the bottom for total 3 divided by Bitcoin or minus USDT. And that'll be where I'll start buying. I want to see this bottom out and the Fed start to buy assets to get into the markets, okay? So that is important to note that to happen. Got total 3 now. I'm sort of going up the chain now, and you can see it's a bit different. You don't use a balance sheet for these ones. Ignore the balance sheet and the rate cuts, but nevertheless, you know, we've got this yellow, which is gold broke out. The gold broke out after it consolidated back in 2019, and that's the top was marked for the total 3 market caps, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, and went lower. Okay, this is what's playing out right now. Broke out and it's going lower. Right, and you see these lows getting remet eventually, hopefully, somewhere around these very lows there, like 300 billion or so, coming down to there. It would be fantastic. If it doesn't happen, then 450 is my next best price. Okay. Then you got, you know, it came down here, came down, the pandemic was here, and the lows were here, and we had some clusters here. So it did play out right here. Okay. So why can't it, if it played out here, right, like this, why can't it play out here and meet the lows? And then it'd be absolutely amazing buying opportunity, incredible lifetime opportunity. If not, then stuck with 450 or these highs here at 400. Right. Others dominance. And we're at this trend line, we're getting close to it. Every time I touch the trend line, we should get a bounce. Okay, you should expect a bounce from here. So 2015 it started, 2016 was established, and then it got close here in 2019. The Fed pivoted before it got to the trend line, and that was, boom, took off from there, came back down, went up. So bullish QE and QT is bearish. So this is others dominance, and it follows the balance sheet pretty closely too. And it goes down in QT and up in QE, of course. But this trend line is the holding crucial line that has to maintain. If it does break below it, we're in trouble. All right. So it has to hold here, and we can, just a matter of time, see that come back down close to the line. Yeah. I think Bitcoin dominance is black below 58%. We are seeing a bit of a drop, sell off, especially on the weekly time frame. Same with the balance sheet. Okay, this purple balance sheet. Yeah, this is a bit different. In QE, it goes down. So it's the opposite. Total 3 minus USDT divided by Bitcoin, and goes up in QE. So they're going down, it goes up because Bitcoin is the market leader, the lowest risk altcoin, or coin, I should say. And it goes down in QE, as you see there, big drop. Up in QE down, QT up, QE down, QT up. All right, and we continue to go up and chug higher until this curls around. All right, I've showed you this before, but this will mark the top for Bitcoin dominance and the bottom for USDT minus total 3 divided by Bitcoin and others Bitcoin and others dominance. All these ones, okay, all because of the Fed balance sheet. And then we have USDT dominance, which got another trend line similar to others dominance. And it just keeps bouncing on this level from 2018 or December 2017. Got close there in November 2018. And then mid 2019, got close here in February 2020. So each time it touches this line, that's the Bitcoin USD top. Okay, it's the top. It's the top. It's the top. The bull market last year, last time round. And then this year, of course, in March, we had a top, and it's been going down ever since, Bitcoin. And this has to keep going up. The Bitcoin will be bearish. This goes down, then the bull market starts. But this trend line I've drawn here is something that can definitely track for it to hold. And, time to go until it breaks. I do see it going a little bit higher, and then bam, it goes down from there. But we'll see how high we go there. If it even goes to the orange box there, that'd be great. I'd take that. That'd be a win, and that would be pretty good buying opportunity but you want to see this trend line keeps rising over time and bottom out at the trend line. As it touches, each time it touches Bitcoin tops. So this could top here. Or if you do have a bit more downward momentum, you could see more room to make it down here, which is good if you're a buyer up here and boom, sell down here, which is what you want to do because it's USDT dominance, not Bitcoin dominance. All right, and then we've got the dollar, which is quite strong. That's why we're seeing a bit of weakness recently in the crypto market. Is seeing a nice big bullish bar here on the weekly, and a lot of people thought it was done. The dollar was going to go down, and the bull market was going to commence, and mania phase is around the corner. But no, it's been put on pause and been trading sideways, since 2023 January, and it's traded sideways. And look back when this previously happened. It happened here in 2015 or so, yep. And it went up, down, and then started to climb this trend line, and then boof, that was your old season right there, your bullish season. I'll get rid of these lines there, I don't need them anymore. And that was it. It was old season, all right, bam. That was good for altcoins against Bitcoin. We're seeing something similar. We're seeing a sideways action. Will we see it start to, cut this? I don't know what it does, but until, and then eventually it breaks down into 2026. All right, and you get this trend line here, and I don't know, it's terrible drawing, but you get the idea. All right, where it could go until it breaks down and happens similar to 2017, and then follow that path and continue its downward momentum, because I do see the dollar getting weak against their other currencies and collapsing in 2025. It's just a matter of when. And so far, it's looking strong. So just hold off for now. Risk assets until this breaks down this support level, or climbs higher if it does, and then breaks down. But that's that one. And Solana ETH finish off. Okay. This is Sol versus ETH and its performance. So we're right at the top of this. Pretty much it's just like a oscillator essentially. You got the highs here made in 2021. We're back up it again. Okay, we're trying to break higher. It looks like we are closing and trying to reclaim and continue higher. Do something like this, or will this be the end and it be a deviation above the high, and it continues down and hits this trend line? All right, as I've drawn here, and then shoots up. All right, and then goes down again after the mania phase. You know what I mean? So it could play out, and then it just shoots down. Who knows? I do see it coming down here. I do see this trend line revisiting again. Okay, to the least base case. All right, and then worst case is this trend line here. This support line, I should say, at 0.033. I don't see it go down the bottom until the bear market happens. Okay, they'll get obliterated back down to these levels again against ETH. So very severely underperform ETH, the bear market. But for now, I just see it pulling back, and then potentially here, and then mania phase, and then bam. So that is that one there. And it's a matter of time before it all plays out. It's just a very, very boring market at the moment. I'm waiting to see how things play out, and I really, really want to get in this market, but just not yet. I'm not pulling the trigger just yet. I've showed you, the Bitcoin chart. It's just not happening yet. Okay, we are consolidating, and I just want to see us down these levels again. Risk metric will just flash at me and just harp at me, and then I'd wait for the Fed as well, and I'd wait for this chart as well, not just the Fed to pivot in the balance sheet, increase balance sheet, and this chart to bottom at 0.25. I want to see it down here. Okay, this price action down here, and I'll be very, very happy to buy it. But yeah, so Bitcoin at 50 odd K, total 3, Bitcoin 50K. Okay, I want to see. Let's go down here. I want to see risk metric at below 30, right? And I just showed you this total 3 minus USDT divided by Bitcoin, which is quite interesting. Alts versus Bitcoin essentially, and I want to see it down 0.25. All right, down here, and that would be incredible. And ta-da, and off to 2025 and 2026, and we'll see the outperformance of Alts versus Bitcoin. So there, that's what I want to see for me to get involved into the crypto market. So that is that. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Just going over crypto market, just different charts, Bitcoin, ETH, and Alts versus Bitcoin, like ETH versus Bitcoin, even Solana versus ETH, which is quite unusual. But the King Alt versus the up-and-coming King Alt, Solana, Ethereum killer, as they call it. And then just looking at the dollar dominance and USDT dominance, others dominance, and all the great charts that we have covered in this video today. So if you like this video, please smash the like, comment your thoughts below, subscribe to stay updated. Be sure to check out my links below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.